Hello and welcome to the wildest, to the baddest motorsport on the planet. It's Icelandic Formula Offroad once again, and this time, for the first time in Hafnarfjordur, just outside the capital of Reykjavik. Now this is the fourth and final round in the town of Lava, a unique location where the fans could watch the action sitting literally in a lava field. This time around we will follow the final three tracks of the season and the fight for the championship. Now the standings after three courses. Skúli Kristjánsson leads with 650 points. Ingolfur and Haukur Viðar Einarsson, the championship contenders, all there in the top three. Ingolfur in fourth. Now let's look first at the street legal class. However, 4 cars entered and August was in last place, but only 100 points behind the leader. Goes pretty far there, but not enough. 240 for length, 40 penalty points, so that's 200 in total for August. Now let's look at Óskar Jónsson driving the Wolf. He was second for this track. Just gets a smoothly turn there, needs all the power he can get, and there's a lot of power in that track, but not enough. 240 for length, 20 penalty points, so that's 220. Now we move over to Haukur Birgisson driving Feitingur. He had the 50-point lead over Óskar before this track and seems to be going similarly too far, but loses 10 points on Óskar here. 20 penalty points, so that's 210 total. Now Steingrímur Bjarnason, the Smurf, he has already won the championship in 2020. Since he can't place lower than fourth, he has won all 3 rounds before this one, but couldn't go any further in the fourth course. Let's now move over to the unlimited class. 13 cars entered, 1 has retired, and this is Ingolfur Arnarsson driving the Storm. He was having nitro issues in the first 2 tracks, but everything working well now. Apart from that radiator hose and the roll. And quite a few actually. 190 for length, 0 penalty points, but that roll pretty soft. Probably no damage. Now let's look at Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba, leads the race and had, before this race, a slim chance of getting the title. Nicely done there, guns it, great driving. Now just the final climb. Now fantastic driving from Skúli, 350 for length, 60 penalty points, so that's 290 in total. Now Páll Jónsson driving the Sheep. He started strong but lost all hopes of a good finish by scoring 0 points in track 3 after a foolish mistake. Páll going for it here, but there's no grip there. 180 points for length, 20 penalty points, so that's 160 points. Now Ásmundur Ingjaldsson driving the Bomb, 4th place before the track, 60 points behind Skúli. And a perfect 350 will give him the lead, but that's already a stick on there, so that's penalty points. Gets through the gate or what? No, beaches it there, 190 for length, 20 penalty points, so that's 170. Now, the fight for the title. Ingolfur always starts ahead of Haukur, and if Haukur wins with Ingolfur 5th, then Haukur gets the title. So Ingolfur aiming at a top 4 finish in Hafnarfjordur. 20 penalty points there. Now going for it. Gets over, but takes out pretty much every stick possible there. Final climb, goes for it. Gets 1 tire through there, 80 penalty points, 350 for length, that's 270, and that's a decent point total for Ingolfur. Now let's have a look from inside. Takes that stick there and just goes for the gate and hopes to get it turned there, just turns the wheel. And somehow is up top. Final gate here, very steep. And there he goes. And now the pressure is on Haukur. Needs a flawless run here, needs to start building some momentum on Ingolfur. Ruts starting to appear there in the side slope, but he goes through that first gate without penalty points, I think. Does he get beats there? No, a little hesitation there on the throttle. And that might be the title gone. All the hopes at least. Only 2 tracks remain. and it's going to be hard for Haukur to catch it back. Now, Ingvar Jóhannesson driving the Viking, a rookie, only his 3rd race of his career, sitting in 5th pretty comfortably before this track. Now Ingvar going for that gate that stopped so many but doesn't want to risk it. 180 for length, 20 penalty points. Jón Gísli Bennisson driving insane here, his 1st race. Goes for it, fantastic driving there from the rookie. And the final gate, well, he misses the final gate, and that is very costly, but nonetheless goes all the way. 230 for length, 60 penalty points, and 170 points in total. Daniel Gunnar Ingimundarson driving the Green Thunder. Like Haukur, he hesitates there a little bit on the throttle. Managed to get himself pulled out of that. He needs the speed to let the suspension work correctly there as he tackles that final bank. Now Haukur Thorvaldsson, this car is driving with 3-wheel drive. He broke an axle in track 2 and didn't have a spare, so the right rear is not spinning, and that's never gonna work. 170 for length, 85 penalty points means that he ends up with 85 points. So after the fourth track, Skúli Kristjánsson leads Ingólfur Guðarsson with 60 points. Haukur Viðar Einarsson sits 80 points behind Ásmundur in 4th and Ingvar in 5th. It's looking good for Ingólfur to take the first title of his career. Only 2 tracks separate him and the title. Now, for the 5th track, the drivers were preparing for a time attack. However, it was changed to a normal track for the street legal cars at the last second, as the drivers thought it was too difficult. Time attacks are supposed to be easy to get up, with the time being the main challenge, but the street legal cars, their time attack course was just deemed too difficult. Now we have Óskar Jónsson driving the Wolf. It was a relatively short track, started out very easy, and with no time to worry about, the drivers could focus on not touching the markers. That's precisely what Óskar is doing here right now. Gets it spinned up there, and going back, and now for the climb. Just like the drivers predicted, the final climb was a bit too steep for these cars, and that would mean that 240 points there. Now Haukur Birgisson driving Feitigur. Plenty of power in this Willys Jeep. Goes in for that final gate. Touches the marker, but that's it. 240 for length, 20 penalty points, so that's 220. Now Steingrímur Bjarnason, the champion, the multiple champion, going for that final gate. Won't make it. Gains 20 points on Haukur, however, with no penalty points and 240 for lead. August Haldursson here driving the Devil. A little bit too careless in the beginning and already had 60 penalty points, which means that he's 4th and last place. Now let's move over to the unlimited class. Now, rules of the time attack: only 10 penalty points for touching a marker no matter how you touch it, and no penalties for reversing other than the time lost doing so. Only the front wheels need to get through the final gate for the time to stop, and here the time is what matters. This is Ingithor Arnarsson driving the Storm. And I think we can all say that that's not a very fast run. Doesn't manage to get up there. Now let's see how the drivers got on and enjoy the pure sound of these 1000 horsepower machines. How's that for some pure sound? As a three-wheel drive soap struggles to make it over the finish line, we can see that the championship leader has the fastest time with Ásmundur, Skúli and Haukur close behind. Three-wheel drive is just not the way to go. Now the fifth track, Skúli Kristjánsson leads. Ingolfur Guðnason still in second, Haukur Einarsson still in third, and Ásmundur still in fourth. Ingvar Jóhannesson sits fifth, so no changes after the fifth track. As we head into the final track of the season, there's still all to play for. Let's look at the street legal class. Here we have Haukur Birgisson driving Feitingur. He has a 20-point lead over Óskar for this final course, so every point that Haukur can snatch here gets him closer to victory. A flawless run would mean that he wins this race. Almost out of bounds there. Those cones are there to show it. You can only reverse the length of the car. Now he has to go for the final climb. That's 40 penalty points there for Haukur. Goes for that final climb. Going up. Needs to get through that gate for that those penalty points to actually matter, but he doesn't, so that's only 160 for length and 40 penalty points. And now Haukur has opened the door. Steingrímur was 70 points behind. He needs 190 points here, and he takes the lead. Can leapfrog from third place to first with a good run here. Needs to reverse also, so that's 40 penalty points. However, he reverses way more than a car's length there, which should have been a red flag, but it wasn't. And goes up there, 180 points for length, 40 penalty points, so that's only 140 points. Now we have Ágúst Halldórsson driving the Devil. He was in fourth and last, but could still win by going all the way here. Needs to reverse there. Goes for it, but not getting it up to speed before the hill. Managed to get some momentum, but not enough. 140 for length, 40 penalty points, so that's 100 total. So it's all up to this man, Óskar Jónsson. He only needs 160 points to get his first win of the season. That's penalty points there. Pretty needless penalty points, because he's going to need to reverse here again, which he does. So now he needs to go all the way to make this possible. Gunsid. Oh, and that's pretty good momentum, but the car gets thrown up in the air there. No, doesn't make it. Only 80 points means he drops to third behind Steingrímur, and Haukur Birgisson takes the win.
Algjörlega frábært. Þetta hafi ekki það.
Now let's look at the end results of the Street Legal Championship. Steingrímur Bjarnason, the Icelandic champion. Óskar Jónsson second. Ágúst Halldórsson third. And Haukur Birgisson in fourth. Now let's go for the final track in the Unlimited class. This is Jóhann Gunnlaugsson driving Thunderbolt. He was 6th place before the track. If he can hang on it, it will be a career best finish. Didn't go far in the final course. Only 90 points for length. And the final course is very steep, and the drivers need a lot of speed. Here we have Páll Jónsson driving the Sheep. Doesn't go any further. 60 points for him. 9th in the race, 11th in the championship. Páll Jónsson. Now we have Ásmundur Ingjaldsson, 4th before the track. Has the speed there, but he needed a little bit more. So that's 110 for length, 40 penalty points, 70 points total. Now, Ingolfur Guðnason has 9 fingers on the championship, with Ásmundur and Jóhann not making it up there. There are a few who can come in between him and Haukur, but if he just does a solid run here, he's clinched the title already. Going for it, decides to go slowly over that first bit, and there he goes, Gunsid. Pretty close to making it up there, but doesn't quite, misses the gate. However, that might be enough. He's won for the fans, so he just shows off that he can make it all the way, and that is the title sealed. What a performance from Ingolfur this season. Ingolfur Guðnason is the 2020 Formula Offroad champion in Iceland. 2 victories, a 4th place and a 2nd here today sees Ingolfur win the title with a 15-point margin. What a season it has been for Ingolfur. Haukur had no chance of the title but could still win the event. So he decided to take a more direct route up this hill. Let's take a look. Guns it before the first jump. But that did not work out as planned. An incredible attempt. A hard hit. But the best in show award for Haukur. However, he drops to 5th in the race and ends up 3rd in the championship. With that performance, the front end of the car just too heavy. Really wanted to make it land and get a bigger jump, and Haukur sits on his belly for the final time this season. Now let's look at Ingvar Jóhannesson driving the Viking. Makes it past Ásmundur and Haukur there to get on the last step of the podium. What a drive from the rookie. 190 for length, 40 penalty points and 150 total. I look forward to watching him in 21 for sure. Now this is Jón Gísli Benediktsson driving insane. Makes it through the gate, but not any further, and that's not the way you want to roll. And that's another insane one. Hard hit, but the roll cage did its thing. He's already out of track there once the roll happens. There we have it, Jón Gísli Benediktsson off track and gets the front end stuck into the mud there. Might have been on the brake as well. Now Daniel Gunnar Ingemundarson driving the Green Thunder. Front wheel's not spinning there. 7th place overall. Probably the front axle gone. Árni Kópsson driving the Farmer's Daughter. A bad day for this legendary driver. 12th and last of those who finished, but maybe not quite competing in the machinery that's viable today. Now we have Haukur Þórhallsson driving the Soap. Only 90 points. Here is Ingi Þór Arnarsson driving the Storm. Going for it, still squirting water everywhere. And that seals him 11th place, 180 for lane, 20 penalty points. So that's 160 total. Now we have Skúli Kristjánsson driving Simba. Awesome drive throughout the day. His 2nd victory of the season sealed. The season snatched 2nd place from Haukur in the championship. 190 for length here, and no penalty points means 190 total. The fans walked back to their cars in the freezing cold. We're not used to hold Formula Offroad races in October here in Iceland. Normally this time of the year we are in Deersburg, Tennessee. However, a successful first race in Hafnarfjordur in this man-made mountain, and we look forward to bringing Formula Offroad back here. We look forward to bringing Formula Offroad back next season. Now let's take a look at the final standings in this race. Skúli Kristjánsson wins from Ingólfur Guðrason, Inga Jónasson 3rd, Ásmundur Ingjaldsson 4th, and Haukur Viðar Einarsson in 5th. And that means that the championship went to these two guys, and here we have the two champions celebrating together. Yin and yang, pretty much, those two. And here we have all the people from the podium this year. Although we had to shorten the season, there has been plenty of action and lots of good fights for first place. 2021 promises to be the best season ever of the Icelandic Formula Offroad, with Snorri Þór Arnarsson and Ólafur Bragi Jónsson returning to battle like they did in 2016. That is, if they can win these amazing drivers we've seen battling this year. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the season, and be sure not to miss our season review in the next episode. But until then, thanks, and Formula Offroad will be back in 2021.